Do you know how Pharrell and Chad tore up the charts in the 2000s? Here's how. And then this track was made.
I'm the neighborhood pusher, call me subwoofer.
They could create a beat with nothing more than tongue clicks and spray can sounds, from which Drop It Like It's Hot eventually came to be.
When the pimp's in the crib, ma, drop it like it's hot, drop it like it's hot.
They left a huge impact on music, but we'll only be talking about Pharrell today, the person who in the past decade has created timeless hit tracks.
Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel you've come too far. If you can't hear.
Pharrell is the GOAT, dog. Early 2000s, you won, my nigga. Even before that, but you know who Pharrell is, Skateboard P, bro.
What I'm trying to say.
Pharrell's love for music started when he was still a kid. The first instruments he played were the drums. He studied at school in Virginia where he met none other than Chad Hugo, who became one of the most important people in Pharrell's life. His cousin, Timbaland, went to the same school. Yeah.
Timbaland's your cousin? What? Yeah, the family bloodline, y'all rich. That
They really
makes
are
so much
cousins.
sense.
However, Missy Elliott and Pusha T, with Malice from Clips, also went there. Pharrell and Chad performed so well at a school talent show that they impressed the legendary producer Teddy Riley. Without hesitation, he took them under his wing, and the duo received the name The Neptunes. And when Riley wrote a verse for the track Rump Shaker,
The Neptune, like the planet Neptune. Oh my goodness, bro. These bulls was on a whole nother frequency. It's starting to click.
Pharrell didn't like it.
Well, Pharrell was the guy who had the vision. When he came and said, man, I think the rap is not commercial enough. It's not capturing. I don't think it's capturing. Let me do something for you. And he went and wrote my rap for Rump Shaker.
Wow.
Picture this. A 19-year-old kid had the courage to say that to a producer who worked with Michael Jackson and Bobby Brown. Riley liked what Pharrell wrote, and that's how Rump Shaker for Rex and Effect came to be.
Imagine being able to build
Y'all, I forgot my water bottle in the car. Hold up. I'll be right back. You want to know what I realized, chat? I'm going to be a part of history. And I have the same like-minded vision as these greats, but in my own description, I feel as though I have to start writing this stuff down. Like, who's going to remember and tell the story in history other than me? I know how to edit. I know how to record. like my history isn't just as important as everybody else's. Like this is my story. Yeah, we're back.
Just like sweeter than candy. I'm feeling manly and your shake is coming in handy. Slide on my clothes.
The song became a hit, making it Pharrell's debut contribution to the industry. In the following years, the young producer was perfecting his craftsmanship in recordings of his mentor Riley, and his voice can be heard in the Right Here remix of the SWV Band. And he turned out to be one of the songwriters of the track Tonight's the Night for the Blackstreet Band. The Teddy Riley School instilled in Pharrell an understanding of grooves and melodies, which quickly became his signature style. And by the late 90s, the Neptunes began generating their own sound that was minimalistic, bold, and full of pauses and unusual sounds. In 1998, the duo gained recognition with a series of groundbreaking works. They produced Mace's hit song, Looking at Me.
Let my pants sag down to the floor. Really do it matter as long as I score? Can't my car...
And Nori's experimental rap banger, Super Thug. These tracks, alongside their daring, bouncy beats and jingling synthetic riffs, stood out against the background of everything that sounded on the radio.
Yo, we light a candle, run laps around the English Channel. Neptunes, I got a cocker spaniel.
Such simplicity from the Neptunes showed that sometimes it's enough just to have a beat and a powerful hook. Everything else is not necessary. And you know what? It was using such a simple formula that the guys...
You see how in life everything goes full circle. He said a powerful hook and a beat. That's what everybody uses today. I promise you it ain't really lyrics. It's something catchy and the beat is just something so profound nobody's ever heard of before.
Decided the...
Yes Sirski by Lil Uzi. Y'all listen to that. Lyrics is just kind of but the hook and the beat is like the beat was made from another planet, but I digress.
Conquer the charts with...
Y'all know where that
I'm
is.
the neighborhood pusher. Call me subwoofer, cause I pump bass like that, Jack.
In the early 2000s, radio stations one after the other played songs that integrated a barely audible but recognizable signature, the production of the duo from Virginia. And here the guys...
These guys are stars. You could look at it in their face and you could tell, bro. They just own it. Like,
one after the other played songs that integrated a barely audible...
Like how I can get to... I believe I could get to where I need to be in history, whatever that looks like for me. I said history. In today's time, like I'm just looking at it, like the confidence, the look, everything. Like they believed it for themselves. They was the ones that was picked out of like millions of people, bro.
But recognizable signature, the production of the duo from Virginia. And here the guys decided to work with Britney Spears. She transformed from a nice girl to a daring and sexual star. Such a transformation was possible thanks to Pharrell and Chad. Just compare the shift here.
Sometimes I run, sometimes I hide, sometimes I'm scared, I'm not trying to hide. Baby, don't you wanna?
Ooh, Pharrell, you did that? You a bad man, nigga. You a bad man, nigga.
Okay, if there's one AI...
No free promo. Yo, ads is fucking up the game, y'all. I'm so sorry, bro. Y'all gotta sit through this dumbass ads, bro. It's getting me copyrighted.
Fun fact, they originally...
Don't you wanna?
Fun fact, they originally wrote this song for Janet Jackson, but she refused it. The risky track brought Britney international publicity. Her performance with a live python at the 2001 MTV VMA was discussed by everyone. And it simultaneously elevated the Neptunes as producers who can drastically alter how artists sound. The success was gaining momentum, and in the following year, already the Hot in Here hymn
y'all
performed
really did that?
by Nelly catapulted to the first spot in the charts.
So baby, tell me what's the use? I said it's getting hot in here.
This definitely sounds like a Pharrell beat though.
In parallel, Pharrell helped launch Justin Timberlake's solo career.
God.
Half of the tracks in his debut album titled Justified were produced by the Neptunes.
Still wanted to say Neptunes. Don't even say Neptunes. Kill these motherfuckers. So when we go get that Grammy, I'm gonna have a shirt on that say Neptune.
The songs Like I Love You and Rock Your Body demonstrated how a mix of R&B, funk, and pop from Pharrell could transform a
Yo, I ain't gonna lie. When I get up there, I promise to God, bro, I'm gonna do everything in my power that I can, bro. I gotta work with that man, bro. I know it's not Pharrell of the 2000s, but bro, like, to be considered amongst one of the greats, bro, like, y'all don't understand. Like, to me, this is gold. This history, like, I didn't even know.
former boy band singer into a full-fledged pop star. And do you know who produced the other half of the songs in the album? Timbaland. By the way, Pharrell thinks that Timbaland is better than him. Do you agree with him on this?
Timbaland has always been better than me. Period.
I feel like Pharrell, you're saying that because in an unk perspective, Timbaland might be like a little older in a sense of like he sees things different with two different visions. But you for like the you were chosen, right? Now, I'm not going to say which name has more longevity. I ain't going to lie. Your name most likely does reign in that sort of space. But that's something, if I was in your shoes, I would say the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, humble you. You're not giving that credit. And as you're supposed to, that's what you're supposed to say if you were Pharrell, right?
In any case, Timberlake got lucky.
I want to make this type of music. Like, how can we integrate? Can we go back in time, bro? Like, maybe, you know what? I'm going to find out how to work FL Studios. I know I'm pausing this a lot, but y'all, like, I ain't going to lie. I get inspired by shit like this. On the guys.
And did you know that every single track except one were actually written for Michael Jackson? But he didn't like him, and he...
You want to know why? Because Justin Timberlake got inspired by Michael Jackson. That's why if you hear him, like, even, like, Rock Your Body, like, and some other tracks on that, like, Justified, I heard that rumor. He was inspired by Michael Jackson, but for it to be written by Michael Jackson, that's crazy, man.
Wanted something similar to Super Thug, which he had done for Nori. Michael Jackson's executive producer, John McClane, called Pharrell and said,
"Man, Michael don't want that shit. He want the shit you giving Noriega." And I'm like...
I immediately thought of Michael with the Crips and the Bloods picture.
By 2003, the Neptunes' influence was super strong. Legend has it that in 1 month in the year of 2003...
You know what? I'm going to say something that's so profound. Listen to me. Maybe the idea of becoming a star, it might reign over the idea of something so cliche as to making a star. How many of y'all want to be a star? Right? But how many of y'all could make a star? Something to think about.
They were responsible for nearly half of the songs going on air in American radio stations.
Oh my goodness. See, this right here, I'm in my bag again. I'm in my bag, chat.
If we were to reference a survey, then we see that 43% of songs were produced by them. And do you think that their peak ended there? Nope. Not only that, their songs were played everywhere, from clubs to school dances. But even Beyonce, who had left Destiny's Child, started working with them and released with the Neptunes a daring funk track called Work It Out for the movie Austin Powers in Goldmember.
Can't wait for
I'm adding that to the playlist.
And wherever there's Beyonce, there's always Jay-Z. Jigga invited Pharrell to the recording of the chorus in his hit song, Excuse Me, Miss.
I got my right now.
And he even trusted the duo to lead his farewell album, the Black Album. Well, at least it was supposedly so.
And that's what also makes you great too in your process of like, what does being like an artist look like? Listen, you got to work with these producers, right? Even household producers, yes, of course. But also it's undiscovered producers that might even be in your hometown that you think you're supposed to run off with Neptune. Bro, you supposed to be working with Mars or Venus. Y'all get what I'm trying to say? It starts all within. You got to find it.
Back, truth is back. Tell the whole world the truth is back.
Everywhere you look at the top of the charts, you see their production work.
Are we living in a dream world? Are your eyes still green, girl?
I will single out the song Milkshake, which was produced for Khalees. This track became not just a hit, but a cultural phenomenon as well. The Neptunes' minimalism and provocative chorus made the song an actual meme in the 2000s.
Milkshake brings all the boys to the yard, and they're like, it's better than yours. Damn right, it's better than yours.
And I almost forgot to mention his work with Snoop Dogg. At that time, Snoop obviously wasn't going through the best of times after leaving Death Row. Yeah, sure, he was on Dr. Dre's album, and he definitely played his role, but he had a background role. And so, when Dre began productively working with Eminem and no longer had time for Snoop, this is where Pharrell came in and gave the gangster a whole new sound. In the 2002 album called Paid the Cost to Beat a Boss, their first collab song together went by the name of Beautiful, and it actually became the most popular song from this record. What's most interesting is that Pharrell didn't like this song at all because, in his opinion, his singing on the recording was flat.
But you did it so well. Oh my God.
And, well, in 2004 already, with the release
I just wanted you to know that you were really special.
of Rhythm and Gangsta, the masterpiece, the one and only Drop It Like It's Hot came out.
When the pimp's in the crib, ma, drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's hot. When the pigs try to get
This was a masterpiece.
It's
but
not
I wasn't really
just
that big
a
of a
beat.
fan of it, though.
It's a sound design out of nothing. Tongue clicks, bottle sounds, finger snapping, and pauses which pumped stronger than any bass could.
I made the beat. I started putting like spray cans on it.
You did. You did. That's what you did. You was like, nigga, I need to
Throw that on there too. Put that on there.
The sound effect was somebody spray painting some gang shit on the wall. I'm like, this is really into this shit right here.
As Snoop says, prior to getting to know Pharrell, thought he needed to be tough to be respected. But Pharrell introduced him to a whole new side, where he would be happy and smiling, all while being respected doing so. Which is why,
That's what
at this
I'm
point in
talking about.
time, he stepped away from his gangster image.
I just feel like I'm the best version of myself is as a producer is I'm like a mirror for people. I try to show them sides of themselves that they don't ever use. It's like when people take selfies, they only use like one side all the time. So I'm the guy that's like, hey, you know, God made another side. Like, it's very interesting. You should try it.
By the way, Pharrell recounted how he once inhaled smoke that was coming from Snoop Dogg at the studio, and after that, he could no longer continue working and hardly made it home.
The next thing I know, Snoop is tapping me on my shoulder. Everyone's in the room because, of course, it's Stevie Wonder. The booth is that way, in the glass. I'm sitting here. Snoop is on my shoulder going, produce the n***, Pharrell. He right there. Produce the He waiting on you right now. So now, I want the seat to swallow me up because I am so high that I'm paranoid.
Oh.
Bro, do you know how scared I was? I left the session.
I've been that high before. I've been paranormally, I don't even know if that's a word, high, whereas though it perfects my performance. That's why I don't even smoke and go on stream no more, bro, because I can't even focus, bro. Like, that focus sense, it makes you tap into a whole different universe, bro.
At approximately the same time, Pharrell worked with artist Gwen Stefani, and they made the hit song Holla Back Girl. Listening to this beat, you can tell that it's just as simple and minimalistic as was the case with Drop It Like It's Hot. You're probably...
Yo, I want to be a part of history so bad, bro. Like, I ain't gonna lie, like, other than the social media thing, bro, like, brother. We will not get another Pharrell in this lifetime. And now watching this, like, this type of impact, bro, it's scary because, like, you know, we could talk about what's current. Like, we could talk about, like, the Chief Keefs and, like, you know, everybody that's really coming after the 2016s. Brother, like, I ain't gonna lie.
Wondering what the result of the collab work was. It was the first solo hit at #1 for Gwen Stefani, and yet another triumph for Pharrell.
I'm not trying enough. There's no fucking way, bro. Like,
this game,
woo,
you're not ready.
He also had a collaboration with Madonna. The song Give to Me was obviously produced by him.
What are you waiting for? Nobody's gonna show you.
He did one more hit track for Beyonce. And he helped Mariah Carey bring back the fame she once had.
Looking at you are over there.
This period was the Neptunes' true golden era. Pharrell and Chad became rock stars in the production industry. Their style, which consisted of sports tracksuits, chains, and the ever-present baseball caps, became iconic. I think Pharrell had one of the most stylish chains in the history of hip-hop. This one right here cost him $1 million.
Drake, I think Drake owns that same chain today. It was a lot of beef stirred up. I don't mean to bring it up, but I'm pretty sure, like, I ain't even gonna speak on it, bro.
But if we are to talk about music, then each one of their new works was eagerly anticipated by artists and labels. By the way, Pharrell never planned to be a solo artist. However, he had accumulated a few songs he simply just had to put out. He said the following in an interview once: "To be honest, songs that I ended up putting out by myself were always songs I wrote for other people. I made Frontin' for Prince, and even Happy, I wrote that for CeeLo." We'll talk about Happy a little later. And so, he wrote the melody and chorus for Prince, but he didn't like it. He even wrote another version, but it still didn't appeal to him. The song we're referring to right now is Frontin', which Pharrell himself showed up in together with Jay-Z.
So you... Think about a chance. You find yourself trying to do my dance. Maybe because you love me.
In this track, Pharrell showed up in such a cool way that fans waited for him to release something. He was in no hurry, as he wanted his album to match the high expectations. The recording of this project dragged on.
I'm a performance guy. I understand that. So when I see guys perform on this level, y'all probably take this shit for granted. But bro, this is what history. This is how we even got here today.
For a few years, and Pharrell just couldn't find the ideal sound for his album. He wanted to find an ideal balance between rapping and singing. But as you've understood, it didn't work out. The album, which received the name In My Mind, didn't make an impact. And it didn't even come close to the height that he used to get from his work as
because he was in his prime working at that level. And one thing y'all got to understand about greatness is through time, right? So when he found when he found it, he ran with it. And so did everybody else. That was just like Philadelphia, stay humble, stay hungry. Like, that time period was ran with greatness. And I understand it's hard to try to keep up with what critically acclaimed it really is, but it was never what they thought it was. It's what you thought it out to be. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Producer. Even Jay-Z and Kanye West's verses didn't save the situation. Many decided that it's best for Pharrell to continue producing than to rap.
Rested the coochie and the feelings got cuffed. Spiderweb sex must have got caught up, but there's more to it. I remember once.
However, sometime later, many began positively responding to the album. Tyler, the Creator, who used to call himself Pharrell's main fan, said that this album had influenced his generation. But at that time, it was a blow for Pharrell. Because later on, a few years later, somewhere between 2008 and 2012, he basically had no hit songs at all. Many thought that Pharrell had to retire and give way for the younger ones. But Pharrell did not give up. And here, he got to know the French duo Daft Punk and the legendary guitarist Nile Rodgers. And they released Get Lucky.
We're up all night to the sun. We're up all night to get some. We're up all night for good fun.
Okay.
The dust hadn't yet settled on the disco throwback in the summer of 2013 before there came out another super hit with Pharrell's voice, a provocative R&B funk piece called Blurred Lines. It was performed by Robin Thicke, featuring T.I. and Williams himself.
Aura Kingdom Impact.
No free promo. Yo, he's responsible for a whole culture, more 20 years plus. Y'all don't understand. Like, I'm not going hard enough, bro.
However, with this track came an unpleasant story. The court found Blurred Lines to be too similar to the Marvin Gaye classic Got to Give It Up.
Okay, so what?
Pharrell and Robin Thicke had to pay up millions of dollars in compensation.
Ooh.
It was a blow for his reputation, but he didn't break. After that, Pharrell worked on the track Happy. The funny thing is that he recorded this track for the movie Despicable Me 2.
Right.
And not for himself at all, but for CeeLo. They say the demo was cool, but Atlantic Records thought the track was out of season.
Right.
And does not suit the artist's style.
But
because of that, Pharrell once again had to perform it himself. The rest is even funnier. Pharrell sent them the first version, and the creators of the movie said it doesn't work well for them. Then he sent them version 2, and they refused it. He sent the third version. Once again, it was a no. He recorded version 4, and again, it was a no. Many in his position would have just said, "I'm done, you're driving me crazy." But he sent them for the 6th time, then the 7th, the 8th, the 9th, and on the 9th attempt already, Pharrell was running out of patience. And he thought, that's it. This will be the final attempt. The 10th time will be the last. And was only in the 10th attempt that they said yes. Happy became one of the most sold songs in the entire...
This is proof, nigga, do not give up and don't... This was an opportunity that could have been on some ignorance. Opportunity of a lifetime. On the 10th time, he got this shit. Sometime it takes time, bro, because you could definitely tell that working on like a masterpiece like this, it took more from his inspiration to move on to theirs. But in a same sense, he went from his world, he started right here, to meet them in the middle, all the way, stop at the 5th try, the 10th time he got there.
World in 2014 with more than 10 million copies sold. And that's just on the official record. The track became a hymn of an entire generation, sounded in ads, movies, and in every party. Happy also received an Oscar nomination for the best song for a film.
Oh, we know.
Clap along if you feel like a room without.
Could you believe Atlantic Records faced realizing their mistake for not allowing CeeLo to take on this track?
Duh.
In any case, around that same time, Pharrell released...
And if y'all know who CeeLo is, look up some of his songs. You can only imagine the type of like millions and millions of like dollars Atlantic Records was facing with that type of loss. This is what I'm talking about, real music, bro.
Had another new album titled Girl. which was perceived considerably better than the solo album prior to it.
Girl, I like you. Why the hell? I can see it the way you like. I can do it the way you be.
Mind you, all commercialized music. This is commercial music. This is kind of what his vision was for foretellable back in the day, that he was saying rap wasn't commercial music.
Later on, he also released Freedom. The song was used in an ad for Apple Music and in major events, further strengthening Pharrell's image as an artist who carries a positive message.
And where we're from, man's right flower, it's in every living thing.
And would you imagine that while writing the script for this video, I found out that Pharrell was in Kendrick Lamar's chorus for All Right.
God got us, then we gon' be alright. Nigga, we gon' be alright. Nigga, we gon' be alright.
Then my buddy KP, who was a A&R, he was like, because I was like, we gonna be alright. The way I was saying it on some Virginia.
We gon' be alright.
That's what makes it.
Well, well, he corrected me to say all right, to put the R in there, and so I ended up doing it.
Be alright.
In the 2010s, many new artists like A$AP Rocky, Billie Eilish, and Lizzo referred to Williams as a role model to follow. And so, Pharrell became the point of contact between the eras and a bridge between the performers of the 2000s and the current scene. Here's Drake for you, bragging that he bought Pharrell's chains, thinking that...
Bro, what did I say? I told y'all. But I digress. It really doesn't mean shit.
It's cool. And in 2017, he released an album with the band NERD. The entire time, we didn't mention this band even once. Generally speaking, NERD is actually Neptunes. However, now as artists, not as producers. They also created this group to release music which the labels didn't allow to do so through Neptunes. Oh yeah, and the abbreviation stands for No One Ever Really Dies.
Our personalities are energy. You know, what makes you mobile as a human being is energy. And once you die, that energy goes somewhere. And so therefore, no one ever really dies.
And now about their music. The guys released a few albums. In 2001, they released In Search Of. In 2004, Fly or Die.
She wants to move, but you're hogging her.
And in 2017, No One Ever Really Dies. There were a lot of big shot artists in this album, from Rihanna.
Got the window down, top blown live. Got the hazard on the doom fire. You could catch me.
To Kendrick Lamar.
You better duck one fast from the mania. Don't stare, don't laugh from the mania. Break free, press gas from the India.
I personally like the track with Andre 3000, but it's unfortunate that it did not get the attention it deserved. You can't get this rhythm out of your head.
Time pterodactyls over all the way. I notice fractals, clover honeybee. That's why I kinda gaggle.
Yo, I'm emotional because like I'm walking in the footsteps of greatness as an artist, as a producer, as a streamer, whatever title that I take on, and it's very limited time to do this. But like he said, it's energy. What's really happening now is I'm transitioning to an evolutional standpoint in history, whereas though this isn't just streaming. Whatever I'm gonna wake up to consciously, this energy is gonna build momentum. Whereas though, like, I got it. I feel I got it, and I'm gonna put that out in the universe. Oh, my goodness, bro. Maybe this is my call, my passion. Like, this reaction video is so much energy. I already know the algorithm's gonna push this. Y'all like when I do this? I like when I do this. You know what I'm saying? I love y'all, man. Yee!
Did you imagine that even the friendship between Chad and Pharrell came to an end after 30 years? Turns out that in 2022, Pharrell, through his own company, applied for rights to the trademark only for himself, without Chad. The latter found out and understandably took offense of that. After all, they built this brand together for 30 years. Chad announced through lawyers that Pharrell knew that we always did everything equally. It's dishonest. His lawyer even said that this is a lot like a hostile takeover. In response, Pharrell said it's a misunderstanding. He just wanted to protect the name from outsiders, and Chad was and always will be his friend. He admitted in an interview that, "We don't talk now, but I love him and will always only wish him the best." And so,
fuck, man. Y'all don't understand what that means, but I'm gonna break it down to y'all what that means. That means for over 30 years, bro, it's an emotional connection that can't be tied down through court lawyers, through paperwork, through all the hardships, through all the producing for the 2000s, even before that, bro, when they started and they went to the same school together, bro. I had dang near the same. It's going to eventually happen. Who you think friends, family are when it comes to building something great, it always has an underlying exposure of like something that's kind of deeper rooted, but I almost was there. I seen a glimpse of that in my history, in my timeline. So I understand what is coming to Pharrell.
they now don't work together and only communicate through lawyers. But Pharrell still speaks well about it, and many hope that they will still reconcile. I'm personally sure that they will find common ground. By the end of the decade, Pharrell Williams had turned into an actual cultural mentor. He sat in the jury for the show The Voice, coaching young singers. His subtle intuition helps him kick off the careers of new divas. And so, Ariana Grande's album Sweetener 2018, produced by Pharrell, became a pivotal moment for the singer, showing her in a whole new light. Pharrell continues to release hit songs. The latest track that he produced and became a hit was the track called Timeless, together with The Weeknd and Playboi Carti. While in 2025, he produced Clips' first album in 16 years, Let God Sort 'Em Out. The production was brave. Many found this release to be very corporate-like, especially in comparison with the unpolished sound of the Neptunes era. But even despite such remarks, many labeled this release as perhaps the main rap album of the year. What do you think about it?
Uncle said, nigga, you must be sick. All you talk about is just getting rich.
Now, Pharrell is not just about music. He's a fashionable revolutionary. His brand Billionaire Boys Club and collaborations with Louis Vuitton gave us a new trend. Hip-hop made its way into high fashion. In 2023, he even became the creative director of a men's line for Louis Vuitton. And so, Pharrell is already a lot more than just a producer. The next video that I recommend you watch is about the producer Dr. Dre. If you like this documentary, please give it a like and subscribe to Music Vibe.
Yeah.
I took two things that
We'll save the Dr. Dre. We'll save the Dr. Dre one.
It's with this kind of excitement and respect that Snoop Dogg. Do you?
I'm not gonna lie, and I'm about to get changed out the suit. I gotta go to church at like 4. I mean, like 6.